Hello everyone, it is I, the Fable of Fables, your new best friend. How you guys doing? Apparently you guys seem to like when I react to Gundam type stuff, so I thought, huh, the Zaku 1 development history. I had this one in my kind of like my backlogs for a while. No one really requested it, but I just thought, I kind of like the design, so might as well check it out. Let's see what happens, shall we?
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
In this episode of Development History, we'll be having a look at how the granddaddy of all mobile suits came to be, the Zaku 1. Please keep in mind that units from Gundam the Origin are not included due to their extensive and conflicting nature. They deserve their own dedicated video. On the 15th of August, Universal Century 0069, the Zabi family managed to gain complete control over the Republic of Zeon and transformed it into the Principality of Zeon. Vying for independence through armed conflict, they realized that they would need some kind of technological edge in order to even put up a fight against the numerically superior Earth Federation. 1 year later, in Universal Century 0070, the first so-called mobile suit was created by Zeonic under the Suit Project. It took 5 years, and the result was a towering, clunky machine, nicknamed Crabman. Possibly due to secrecy on Zeon's side and a lack of interest on the Federation side, very little is known about Zeon's earliest mobile suit prototypes, the MS-01, MS-02, and MS-03. Some sources claim that there were 3 different machines, whereas others claim that the 3 model numbers were used for only 2 machines. What we do know is that the MS-03 was unveiled in Universal Century 0073 and was heralded as the first true mobile suit. However, unlike previous test units, this unit was fitted with armor that was meant to withstand combat, leading to a heavier and much less agile unit. Fortunately for Zeonic, another technological marvel was just unveiled, the Minovsky Ultra Compact Fusion Reactor. Zeonic went back to the drawing board with this new power supply in mind, and in February of Universal Century 0074, the MS-04 prototype Zaku was born.
Cool.
The new generator was
I gotta okay, so here's the thing. For me, when it comes to designs, I'm not really that interested in like the flashy, crazy stuff. I guess I'm more interested in like the basic colors and junk. So this one kind of looks kind of cool to me. I kind of like the colors. I mean, my friend Falco will probably approve of this because he absolutely loves the mono eye stuff. I just think it's kind of neat.
Twice as powerful, and despite the armor being strengthened even more, it was agile enough to be greenlit for combat testing. While the test results were generally positive, the 100mm machine gun that was developed alongside the prototype Zaku was deemed inadequate for anti-ship combat. Another problem was that the prototype Zaku was much too costly for mass production. Due to the dangerous and unknown nature of the Minovsky Ultra Compact Fusion Reactor, it has been rumored that the MS-04's operation wasn't tested by Zeonic itself, but by Hostioka under a subcontract. Another retooling happened in an attempt to fix the issues that the Zeon High Command had with the prototype Zaku, and only a few months later, in May of Universal Century 0074, the YMS-05A Zaku was born. It was reliable and fixed all of the problems of its predecessor.
Ooh, I like those colors. Seriously, I like the colors. I don't know why. I know it's kind of more bronze than gold, but I like blue and gold colors. I don't know. I'm kind of silly like that.
Also keeping performance up, and a bazooka was developed for anti-ship combat. A new and more powerful 105mm machine gun was also developed. Zeonic's flagship unit was then pitted against Zimad's flagship unit, the EMS-04 Zeta, during the arms race for Zeon's mainstay mobile suit. The Zaku won out and was formally adapted as the MS-05A Zaku 1, although nowadays it is usually referred to as the Zaku 1 Early Type. The Early Type wasn't just the first Minovsky reactor-equipped machine that was deemed ready for combat, but it was also the first one to actually see combat. 27 additional A-types were produced in early July and immediately put to use as training machines for future pilots and commanders to develop new strategies for these machines. Some of the most famous aces of the 1 Year War, such as Ramba Ral, Char Aznable, and the Black Tri-Stars, would get their start with these machines. Finally, there exist no records of the A-Type being upgraded, meaning that chances are high that they were used as trading machines until newer models became available and were then relegated to construction or other such menial tasks. But despite the positive reception of the A-Type, there was no time for resting. Alongside the pilots, the R&D people were also pushing themselves to improve the A-Type, sadly resulting in the deaths of 10 people and the loss of 5 machines.
Damn.
Still, the result was there. In July of Universal Century 0075, the MS-05B was officially rolled out. While it looked virtually identical, the armor was stronger, the cockpit overhauled, and the engine
that one's
was
not.
changed from the
That one
ZAS
looks
company's
alright, I guess.
ZAS
Not really a fan of it, to be
M980B
honest.
to the similarly spec'd but more reliable MYFS-MES by the M&Y company. The B-Type was almost immediately approved, and 793 units were produced between August of Universal Century 0075 and August of Universal Century 0077. After this, production was shifted to Xeon's next generation mobile suit, the Zaku 2. Still,
As everyone
with so
knows
many
about
units
that one, yeah.
produced, the B-Type would remain Xeon's main machine until shortly before the One-Year War, with many remaining active in one way or another. While mostly relegated to menial tasks or a jack-of-all-trades guard and working machine on transports, some veterans who learned how to be a mobile suit pilot thanks to the A-Type decided to stick with their B-Types a little longer. Other pilots specifically requested Zaku ones because they knew that there were still plenty of these machines just collecting dust and would therefore receive them much faster than if they had requested a Zaku 2 or another newer machine. In addition to this, they would also have an abundance of spare parts. Once the war started turning against Xeon after Operation Odessa, Zaku 1s were once again pushed into service on a much broader scale in an attempt to reinforce their badly depleted forces. Even though the almost 5-year-old machine performed pretty poorly by now, Xeon had no other choices but to use the Zaku 1 until the bitter end, as newer machines simply could not be produced in enough numbers. But no matter how popular the Zaku 1 used to be, one event cast a dark cloud over its legacy.
Oh god.
During the one-week battle at the outbreak of the One-Year War, Xeon Marines would use Zaku 1s to attach booster rockets to a colony for use in Operation British.
Oh,
this was
not
after
this
they gassed the
one.
entire population of the colony.
Oh god, it's the one where they launch a nuke onto, where they launch a space colony onto Sydney, Australia, I believe. God, why? Jeez, my dude.
私は知らなかった。毒ガスだなんて知らなかったんだよ。
With its long service life, it should come as no surprise that variants of the B-Type also popped up. For starters, it is rumored that a specific commander type, the S-Type, existed. Supposedly, the Zaku 1 commander type was simply a B-Type with a commander antenna and an additional shoulder pad. However, records show that Romberol's machine that was active early on in the war was also classified as a B-Type. This could mean that Roll's machine was simply mislabeled, or that the type got its own designation much later on in the war. But it could also mean that there was another separating factor, such as a stronger generator. But that is all that we currently know about the Zaku 1 commander type. As mentioned earlier, even when newer machines became available, many of the pilots who learned the ropes with the Zaku 1 A-Type still wanted to stick with their trusty Zaku 1s. So at some point in Universal Century 0078, a plan was proposed to upgrade the B-Type with the latest technology. This plan was allegedly approved by, at the time, Rear Admiral Dozal Zabi in an attempt to make the mobile suit forces more uniform. This upgrade was designated as the Q-Type, and it featured an upgraded reactor, power pipes on the head, and a second shoulder pad on the right shoulder, giving it an almost similar performance to the Zaku 2 C-Type. While not standard, knuckle spikes were often seen on one or both hands, and because they were mostly used by aces who specifically
I don't know. I think it's kind of funny that it has that essentially has spiked knuckle dusters. Kind of funny to me, but oh geez, why did they have to show that clip of all things?
requested them, they were usually adorned with a commander's antenna. Some units, such as Norris Packard's machine, also used a custom machine gun with an added shield on the gun barrel. Before the war, 240 Q-types were planned to be converted from B-types, but only 162 would be completed because priority was given to the new Zaku 2 C-types. In the later stages of the One-Year War, another 30 units would be converted for a total of 192 units. Unlike the B-type, the Q-type would be consistently used at the front line. Also, due to its similarity to the unconfirmed S-type, it is possible that the S-type was simply a misidentified or damaged Q-type.
It's
Another
possible,
upgraded variant of the Zaku 1 appeared after Operation Odessa, the Zaku 1 Sniper type. Up until that point, Zeon had been using Zakus that were equipped with Megala top cannons for long-ranged attacks. However, concerns about accuracy and power were brought to the forefront when the Federation retook the offensive. To make matters worse, due to the Federation's advance, Zeon's terrestrial forces had been almost completely cut off from their space forces. As a result, Zeon's final major base on Earth, California Base, made do with what they had and began developing a sniper rifle from a Gelgoog's beam rifle. Because of the high output, the barrel would overheat if fired too fast, although this could be averted by hot swapping the barrel. In order for the Zaku 1 to use the sniper rifle, it was equipped with a backpack that contained a 700 kilowatt subgenerator that used technology from the Gelgoog's backpack. Other upgrades included a Zaku reconnaissance type's mono eye and sensor array for better targeting,
Makes
a crutch for easier kneeling, and a pair of head-mounted targeting.
Oh, I like the colors. This looks kind of cute, actually.
A crutch for easier
I know it's
kneeling,
weird.
and
I don't know. I'm not really much of a sniper myself when it comes to like video games or just in general. But when I see them in these kind of stories, I think they're kind of cool. I don't know why. Does that make sense? Probably not.
Vulcan guns for close-range defense purposes. Finally, there were two special variants: the MS-06W Worker Zaku and the
Okay, that looks kind of cute. I don't know. I think it looks kind of cute.
MS-06V Zaku Tank. Even though their model number wouldn't indicate.
Okay, the Zaku tank kind of looks kind of silly, but the worker one looks adorable to me. It looks like a little guy. That makes sense, probably not, but it looks like a little
Zaku
guy.
Ones, some of them were. This was because neither the Worker Zaku nor the Zaku Tank were standardized machines and were merely attempts by engineers to get Zakus back up and running. As mentioned earlier, Zeon was being pushed back on all fronts, and they needed all the units that they could get their hands on. As a result, Worker Zakus were often cobbled together with various parts from Zaku 1s and Zaku 2s.
It looks like a little guy to me,
they had
dude.
some kind of standardization in the form of a shovel on the right arm, a wench on the left arm, and instead of a backpack, many had a rack that could hold containers. Many also had their cockpits modified to allow non-mobile suit pilots to use these machines. In the Zaku Tank's case, the modifications could be as simple as mounting the torso of a Zaku 1 or a Zaku 2 onto a Megala attack hull. So far, one type of Zaku 1 with a Zaku 1 upper body has been found. This unit was equipped with a dozer blade, and instead of normal manipulators, it had a pair of aptly named long manipulators. This made this version of the Zaku tank a purely worker vehicle. And that is all for the development history of the Zaku 1, an extremely important machine in the development of mobile suits. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe for more similar content in the future, because I know I will start working on the development history of the Zaku 2 after this. A big thank you to all of the Patreon supporters, have a nice day, and I will see you all next time.
Alright guys, if you like this kind of content, do like, comment, and subscribe. So I didn't really say much, I just wasn't really sure what to talk about. I just, again, I've said this multiple times, and I feel like I have to say this every time. When it comes to like the models of certain units, I don't really care about like the firepower, everything. For me, I like designs. I love designs and stuff. I love the designs of the mecha. I think if it looks cute, then I want it. If it looks ugly, then if it looks ugly, then I just think, oh man, things like that. But I don't know, all the statistics and stuff is cool from like if you're into Gundam and into that kind of stuff from that standpoint. I'm just like, dude, I love the colors. I think it's really cute. So yeah, if you want me to react to the Zaku 2 development one, please do let me know in the comments section. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It'll greatly help out, especially since my motivation is actually pretty much shot. Make sure to check out Kakarot197. God, I hope I pronounced your name right. If not, I'm gonna cry. But yeah, so let me leave a link in the description to the video, of course. So yeah, I just kind of stuff. If you want to support me, I have a Ko-fi. Right now the link's kind of broken on my. That's not broken. It's working fine, but for some reason OBS doesn't like me. So yeah, love you guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye.